Well, hello everyone. You here talk about right here is the graduation cards that talk about if it's 20 years ago or if it's maybe by the principal or from the professors or anybody like that. But this right here is a greeting card that I had found on file right here and talks about for the future. This would have been from back in 1996 right here and in 1997. Back in 1997. But you see right here that with this writing right here, basically that for anybody that wonders this tour, that looking back at your classwork also, and that think is right here is that you really with a greeting card. Though whenever you look at a greeting card, that a lot of times it seems like it's going to say something like that that forever the future may lead that may you always have the wisdom and strength to follow your dreams. And I do one or two that why is it that the year was not marked on there. But you have right here is this greeting card that looked like it was printed from a computer, and having access to my own computer here at home also. But I do one or two that with greeting cards like this, and you keep them around and look on the inside, and then you read these greeting cards. And on the inside, it talks about, that for the courage and the contribution, to meet the new challenges, and may you know, happiness and pride in all that you do. Have fun at Barnwell. So yeah, this right here is a card that I gotten from my teachers back whenever I was transferring to middle school. And you have right here is what the teachers said about. Basically about all the best to you in the future. Always try to do your best and stay the good person that you are. Keep in touch. And then the other teacher said quit worrying about the locker combinations and getting lost. There will be people there to help you. Where those first few weeks. Concentrate on having fun and using your spelling, your great spelling talent and excellent drawing, and excellent drawing talent to your advantage. Good luck in Barnwell, Miss Cornwell. So yeah, you got teachers that know your work very well, but I do one or two that that's whenever you were going to middle school, and then if you were going to high school. But how come with some of these cards that maybe not too many of them that mention too much about colleges, and you're likely one or two that based on from the past 20 years of your source of education, that not all your writing skills are going to be used in professional programs like Microsoft Word just to be able to type a document and just to be able to pronounce and say words or some sort of kind. And you have right here is Matt right here. On my college courses, I go by the name of Matthew. But you have right here is this greeting card, and I'll show everybody here about this card right here. But it can maybe say something like, P.S. Make sure that you have a good college fund for your future courses, and also that it's like making sure that your grades are up to about an 86%. And the other which called message that you can maybe give to a student though, but still, though, that whenever I look at this card right here and thinking is that whenever you whenever you were being transferred to another school, and whenever you were moving on to a new career path or wherever, that teachers a lot of times it seems like they're focused mainly on the work that you're doing and the work in progress so far as how well that you're learning. But they don't really mention too much about college cost. And a lot of times with most teachers that I guess do they think that maybe that's kept confidential. But if we look at this right here, not really about financial discussions, but this right here talks about Earth is a home for more than 5 million people. Around the world, people are different, and they are so much. So yeah, this right here is like I guess if it's like a history assignment that I was working on, but still a number of things that maybe you want to go ahead and put in short phrases, on a greeting card. But I do one or two that this right here is my writing in high school. But for this greeting card right here, that I do wonder that it's like, quit worrying about your locker combination. Well, I guess you can still always be concerned about your grade book, because my grade book don't always look pretty. But still, that way, if the teachers were retired or anything related to about the teachers, if the teachers were listening, and they were maybe thinking as to where that 20 years ago, they were too afraid to say that they were on coffee break. They were on coffee break, so they forgot to mention to me that if you have an assignment that's due on Friday, where are you going to tell them? Well, I'll have it for you by Friday afternoon. And I'll see you later, alligator. Farewell, crocodile. So those were the compliments that I usually made back when I was in the 6th grade. But looking at this greeting card right here, and this is it looks almost new, so it's not all worn and torn or nothing, but still, that looking at this card right here, that we all wonder too that if this was supposed to be from your 6th grade year, that there was not really any mention about past due assignments, or if it was about if there was any writing concerns, or maybe that they mentioned to you, the teachers mentioned to you about freehand drawing and about talent. I'm like, freehand drawing right here, and quit worrying about your locker combinations, and then the excellent drawing. How come? How come that? Because I can remember that one of those teachers was teaching me the skills about division. Long division. I know in the 6th grade, I can remember that I had complications working long division, but I do one or two just a little bit, and I know that there's only so much room on the greeting card too, especially if you're going to be making it on the computer. But still, that there's really no mention about a college fund, and maybe no mention about as to where that for your college year, and so let's just say that nearly 20 years ago, for 2017, that for the college years, that you have complications with some subjects, but still though that you're likely warranted to where that you told the person that they had to score at least an 85% just to pass the class. But let's just say if they only got a 71%. Or they got below a 70%, they just barely passed the class, and what you gonna say? But still, that whenever I look at these greeting cards right here, I also think about as to where that looking back at whenever this card was signed, and whenever somebody left a comment on it, even from the teachers, that not too much, and I know that 20 years ago, it seems like there was no college discussion that was talked about, or anything about okay, you have real nice Photoshop skills, you keep up the good work, or you have excellent, you keep up, are you going to publish the book? Yeah, are you going to publish the book? You've been talking about publishing that book title for a long time, and I could tell you one thing that I'll tell anybody here that. Back when I was in the 6th grade, I can remember that musician by the name of Kelly Joe Phillips. I don't know if anybody here remembers him, but he was that guy who played the guitar on his lap. I don't know if anybody here remembers that, but yeah, Kelly Joe Phillips was the guy's name who played the guitar. But I can remember I wrote him a letter and say that did you ever get a response? Not can I remember, but still that this right here, it talks about have fun at Barnwell. And if I can remember right, whenever I went to Barnwell, that not only did I have complications, trying to understand the work that I had to do, and the combinations weren't so bad, but on the other hand, that getting my work in on time and knowing the work that I had to do. So any student that if you got work to do, and let's just say if it's due within 2 or 3 days or so upon schedule, and you're just trying to get it done, and it seems like you'll be able to get it done at no problem. I do wonder a little bit too about maybe why not too much of that was mentioned on this card right here, but really that most greeting cards, it seems like, they are designed to be easy friendly, that they are designed to be written in directly easy friendly, kindness and friendly. So if the teachers may say something like, on a grade book, such as, yeah, Matt, he misspelt that word a few times and he had to write it 4 or 5 times. He was past due on his history project, or he missed a few math problems on the test. So yeah, that you're going to have the teacher that's going to maybe mention something like that. While you were in my class, that of course that you ran into some difficulties, quite a few difficulties actually, and think it is to where that in order to be able to correct those difficulties, it seems like that you came to class like you were supposed to, but still, whenever I look at this, I can tell you one thing. I can be honest with anybody here that whenever I look at this greeting card right here, it's going to kind of remind me a little bit about, what did the teachers have to say about, college expenses. And most of us will maybe wonder to where that back whenever you were in the 5th and 6th grade, that, the money that you used in school, maybe if you want to buy a book, from the book fair or something, or you were worried that you were not going to have enough lunch money to get yourself something from the cafeteria, or whichever, but still about college funds. And I know that I've talked about college since about early 1995, and it's like on the greeting card though that the greeting cards are going to maybe say something like such as to where that P.S. remember to write down, to take notes of, before you take the test, and whenever you take tests, remember about what we talked about during the studying hours and rehearsals. And so it's like, rehearsals. What I mean by rehearsals is like anything that we talked about, including to where that, that, rehearsals to where just for practice and just something to remember. But still, that anything, if it's going to be for map testing or anything like that, in the P.S. that knowing about each star that would represent about five points, right? 5 points and so many points to earn each credit hour. So back whenever I was in the 5th grade, that stars on my credit hours, you're likely wondering to where that each credit hour, you're like think it is to where that you have right here is like and I'm sure most of us can probably remember that those teachers back then would use stickers. They would put stickers on the papers. That they would mark. They would put a sticker on there, such as "nice work" on a spelling test or something like that. But really, that with the stickers though, that they would put the stickers or maybe put like a little smiley face somewhere. But I do wonder to where that with the greeting cards though, that when somebody is going to be moving on to the next level of education, that you do wonder that how come that there is no mention about college expenses, and as well as focus points, if you want to call them focus points, to where the main agenda before you can get a good paying job, Matt, do things to remember, the basic things to remember. Focus points. Make sure that other people understand your writing, number 1. And number 2, make sure that your grades are at least an 85% so people can understand you. And 3 is that, whenever your birthday does come around, school's not always going to be over. If you know that. And I'm like, yeah, of course. It seemed that way because whenever school's over, at the time it seems like what's the best of luck? Knowing about getting my source of education somehow. But still, that back in those days, like I say that, in college that you don't even have a locker combination. If we know that, we got a car. Yeah. Where anywhere on the greeting card that says about a car? And I didn't have a car during the time, but this writing right here talks about the future, right? The future, all the best to you in the future. I got a car now, but there's like no mention about, hey Matt, for your future car, remember to always keep insurance. For your future car, and make sure you don't stay up late at night, with your girlfriend, and say that you're going to be studying, but really that you're really having a popcorn party. Or it could be also about, remember that 5 points is equal to 30 points. If that 5 stars is equal to 30 points or 40 points. But still, that looking at a greeting card like this, and I think it is toward it. Exactly. What are the teachers basically saying whenever you have a card like this? And at the time, I say, I go by the name of Matthew in college, but this right here is for Matt. But this almost looks like a new card, even though if it's 20 years old. But still, that talks about the locker combinations and talks about my talents. But I do one or two that half the time that anything on the grade book is going to be just a little bit different from what's on the greeting card. And any students that may want to were that if they're able to keep their old greeting cards from back in the day, that they also one or two, he or she is going to wonder that a grade book is going to say something totally different than compared to a greeting card, and you always wonder why. Maybe because a greeting card to almost anybody who's able to get their hands on it is going to be able to read it, and then they don't need to read anything such as to where, hello, Hamahana, or something like that, or that they don't need to read something that's really that should be kept privately or confidential. It's like so far as confidential goes. But still, though, that really, that I don't really see anything on here that talks about a driver's license. I don't see anything on here that talks about a good standing profile. I don't see anything on here that is related to college expenses. So it seems like that teachers nowadays, that one or two that half the time if they were not able to talk about everything, or maybe if they were not aware of everything, or sometimes it's like someone that may just say, we just don't care, or if it's all about to where that hey, you were in my class for just for that part of the quarter of the year. But still, though, that a few things that maybe the teachers that may say too, that whenever you leave this school, that's basically on your own task. But still, though, that looking at this greeting card right here, and it's not store-bought because they print it, with it in front of a computer. But still, to have my own computer, that I do one or two that the things that can go on a wish list. Going back to school, or if it's maybe the best of luck for your source of education, the stuff that can go on a wish list. I do wonder a little bit too, why is it that the teachers do not give me, the teachers, those teachers, they might be retired, or they may no longer be around either, but still, that I guess with most greeting cards, though, that I do wonder that how come that maybe not some of them mention that they mentioned on here about why is it that some of them do not mention anything about college expenses, because that which one is more serious than compared to a locker combination. They give you a locker combination and they expect you to learn it within about a week after school starts. Well, here's the thing, that if you forget your combination, you can write it down, but half the time that easy to remember tips or notes or anything like that, I do one or two that why is it that some of these teachers from back in early high school years that they don't wish you the best of luck for your college year. But really, some of them might even say that we didn't go to college, but we were able to get a teaching job somewhere. But so these greeting cards right here, that whenever I was reading this, I was also thinking it's like about the future and then about the dreams. But really, though, that I do one or two that just a little bit that why is it that there's no college fund information provided, or I know you were probably too young really to have to take charge of that. How old were you? I was like 13 years old during the time. I was 13 years old during that time. So that was before I was that was before I was even old enough to drive. So if anybody were wondering toward that you got your driver's license now and you even have an account, just to even speak up, saying it's like, Yeah, would you like to have your coffee refilled or soda or whichever it is? I'm like, yeah, that if you want to order gas online. How many of us will probably say that you want to know if there's a mobile app out there where you can order your gas online and pull up to a pump? You don't even have to pay for the gas. There's a mobile app to where you can order your gas online. Gas for a tank, gas for your car. But anyway, but that's enough of that talk. But anyway, whenever you're looking at a greeting card, I do wonder a little bit too that why is it that there is no mention about the good skills and then about a college fund on this greeting card. So at the time, it seems like that looking at a card right here, if it was made, that would have been back in maybe 1994, and the teacher's advice would basically be as to where that remember is to where long division and long subtraction. It's not about getting frustrated about it. It's about taking one step at a time. Concentrate mainly on what about solving the problems. Yeah. Long division. I can remember doing that in the 6th grade. I can remember doing fractions, and I can remember doing long division in the 6th grade. And I can remember, any easy to remember tips about solving long division problems? Understanding the numbers and then the counts about for what makes sense. If you take out too much, if it makes sense, if you add too much, but still, that solving long division problems. It's measured by numbers, right? It's measured by numbers, but then still, that the remainder 0, and then it's the final 0, or any number like that, and then knowing about how to solve math problems. Really, it's not about getting frustrated about it. To remember is to where that whenever you're solving math problems, are you coming up with a conclusion about, oh, okay, this is how much it's equal to after you work so much on the problem. But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone, and talk about, say, for the greeting cards. And you got right there is, from Matthew, from Matt right here, go by the name Matthew in college, but talks about college also. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.